good friend in her job. All right, here we are. If you could help me admit people in as well, Sandra, that would be amazing. It
Got
is
it.
Monday. It is 2 o'clock. We are having our growth call. I wasn't on last week. How was last? Anybody on here last week? Who was on last week? Rena?
I
No.
was.
Who? You were?
I was.
What did you guys talk about? Open houses?
We talked about open houses, um, how to pros prospect for open houses, door knock, um, things like that.
Things like that. All right. Well, today I am lucky enough to be joined with Sandra. She is going to be talking with us today about how she utilizes the command app on her phone to really connect with some unrepresented buyers at open houses and kind of take that open house that you just prospect for to the next level. What are you showing me, Karina? Tell me. I want to know what you're showing me.
Oh, they're just I'm not showing you anything. They're just envelopes. I'm putting them away. I'm doing golden letters.
I want to hear about it. Before we get to Sandra, tell us, what are you doing with that golden letter?
I have a client who wants this particular condo complex. He's in a rental in this condo complex and he desperately wants to buy a condo. They don't come up very often. So I'm doing 53 golden letters.
I love that. Now tell me about the golden letter itself. What does it look like? What does it say? Is this your first go about doing it? And how many are you going to send?
Okay, so this is 53. It's I just did all of my letters. It's very simple. It's hi, John Jones. You have a condo at 123 Main Street. Would you be willing to sell it to my client? Question mark. Please give me a call at blah blah blah. That's it. My name, it's out.
All right, are you doing this 1 week or multiple weeks in a row?
This is my first time doing this letter. So this is going to go out this last quarter in hopes that this is going to spur on next year. So if I get something from this, this is great. I plan on getting something from this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do go through my list of people in my database and see who's looking for something particular because I have another client who's looking for something particular in a price range in a town. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do beds, baths in town, see what comes up, and then that will be my golden letter for next quarter. And I hope to send out like 50 of those.
Okay, I love that. And can I share with you something that my coach shared with me? And that is actually being one of the biggest successes I've had in a really long time with sending letters out.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
So, my role as the operating principal is to help recruit as well, right? So, help refer or attract talent to our world. So, one of the ways that my coach has been working with me, he said, do a golden letter, just like that. So, I created a golden letter to send out to independent brokers. But here's the thing, here's the difference of what you're doing to what I'm doing. Mine was very simple as well. And by the way, it's not pretty. It's
Mm-mm.
not on letterhead. It's a few sentences long, like yours, similar to yours. And it basically says, this may not be for you, yet if you are open-minded and would like to have a conversation about a partnership or acquisition, I would love to have a cup of coffee with you. Here's my cell phone and my email address. Let me know if this is something you'd like to discuss. That's basically it. Not word for word, but that's basically it. Yet the difference, Karina, is that we're sending these out every week for 8 weeks to the same people. That same letter goes out once a week for 8 weeks. Do you want to know why?
Yeah, I do.
Well, sometimes a letter comes in, and where does it go?
In the trash.
In the trash. second week, a letter could come in and go where?
In the
In
trash.
the trash again, right? But you could hit them at week 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8, where they decide it's time to open the stinking letter and let me see what this is about. And now they have FOMO. Now they're like, hey, like, what are you doing? Like, yeah, I want to hear about that. We've gotten more calls and text messages on that one letter because we sent it out weekly and it hit differently for different people. Now, by the way, we've had a couple people who said, oh, by the way, can you take me off your list? We're like, yeah, happy to. Oh, by the way, we're having a mastermind by Zoom and would love to invite you to be on that. And guess what? Every single one of them wants to be on that call. So even though it might not feel like a win on all of those letters or responses you get, that's the way that you're building relationships and getting that next level deep to where you want to go. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I encourage you to try it because I'll tell you, it was one of those things where I was like, I can't send the same letter out 8 weeks in a row. They're going to get mad at me. You got to remove that kind of mindset because the growth opportunity. I have 2 independent brokers signing today.
Oh, nice.
Because of this letter that we started less than 4 weeks ago. That works in agent world as well with those golden letters. All right. Thank you for letting me add that. See, I didn't even know we were going to add that today, and here we are, right? Okay, Sandra, you ready?
I am.
Okay. So as I mentioned, Sandra is our guest on today. She knows her mission. She knows what she's going to help us explain. Would you remind us what that is?
Yes. Hi. For those that don't know me, I'm Sandra Solar. I am a solo agent in Keller Williams Gateway in Salem, New Hampshire. So right on the border with Massachusetts. I'm also the Market Center Tech Trainer in our office. And I love the app since the beginning of times.
What app?
Way app. It was the consumer app back in the day. Then Kelly came along. We didn't use Kelly anymore. And now we have both of them, which I absolutely love using them. The consumer one and the command. Now, let me start from the beginning. Make sure, guys, that you have both of them on your phone. The white one is the consumer. That is the app that you use to, or the actual consumers will be using. Let me show you. I don't really have a pretty way to show the screen, but it will be the white one with the KW in red, okay? So that is the consumer app. Then you want to make sure that you have your KW red app. See that I have this one on my home screen. The other one, I have it on the folder because my red one is my command, which you should be using daily by the minute.
Wait. Let me get the timeout really quickly. Why should somebody be using this daily and on the minute? Like, what is like the one thing that you think is so important to use?
Well, speed the lead, right? Every time that we have some kind of movement in our command, either from MC accepting anything that we have submitted or any new clients or any kind of activity of anybody that has registered, we will get notifications. So you want to make sure that you react to it, however that may be. Yeah, if it's a new client or a new consumer that just came to site, you want to make sure that you connect with them however you feel comfortable or whatever information they gave you to connect. Because speed the lead, even if it's as simple as like, hi, I just noticed that you were on my site. How can I help you? Just make that connection. And then if it's something that you have an opportunity going on, if you have an opportunity going on and MC is getting back to you, you want to make sure that if it is something that you need to take care of right away. I am so sorry. My dog gets crazy.
We can't hear it. Can't hear your dog.
Oh, good. But the reason I say that we need both, it's because the white one, you have it on your computer and your phone. You want to register yourself like if you were a consumer to begin with. You want to make sure that you have your personal information. You log in like if you were a consumer. You use your personal email, you use your address. You are a consumer. In the command, it's already through the marketing profiles and everything, it already is customized to you as an agent. Okay, let me just separate that. Why do I say this? When people come to my open houses unrepresented, And I asked them, I create that conversation. Are you looking to, go and look other houses? Do you have, what else? How did you find out of the open house? If they talk to me about a site in particular that they use or an app, I say those are great ways to get to know what, listings are out there. But if you have a minute, let me show you my personal app, my KW personal app, that it's connected directly to the MLS. Most of these sites that they use, I'm not going to name them, they are actually entities that have to go through filters before they can go public with the information. And this is exactly how I talk to them. And I say to them, and I'm sure that you have found yourself that when you see the property and you inquire about it, most of the time they're already under agreement. And it's because sometimes that filter can take up to a week or 10 days. And they're like, oh my God, yes. Like they go already like, yes, yes, yes. I said, I have checked with my own listings. When I go live on MLS, on the app, it shows within like 15 minutes to 20 minutes. And they're like, oh my God. Sometimes they're already looking on the phone, on the app, like the app store for it. Then I go, if you have a minute, let me show you. And I literally open the app and I said, there's a couple of, features that I love about this. My first one is when I go to search on the magnifying glass, I said, I love the feature of the little arrow up here because we are the blue dot. So I kind of move it on purpose. And I say, when I click the arrow, it brings me to where I am standing, which is that blue dot right there. Why is that important? I explain to them. Because if I am on the open house, usually it shows the property there. I am on the open house and I can see that it's listed, right? But I said, I love it even more because if you are at a friend's house and you like the neighborhood and you want to see if there's any homes around, do that. And then it will show you, like here, for example, I have the circle. I am at a friend's house, my house, but then I see that there's actually properties around the neighborhood that are live. When they're that darker green, they are active. We only show, it's already by default, shows only the properties that are active. You could see the pendings. You have to put it yourself on the filter, but at that point, we only want to see the active ones. The other thing I say to them is like, if you're driving around and you see a house that gets your attention and it has a sign on the backyard, do the dot. Do the arrow, brings you to where you're standing. The house is in front of you. If it does not show, then it's not active. It will not show under agreement or pending. But if it does show, then that's what I show them as well. Let's say that it's this one. So I click on it. It shows you the house. I screen on the pictures, right? And says, it shows you a couple of the houses. It has some of the information. And then I say, if you want to know more about it, you click on it. It has all 40, 50 or whatever the amount of pictures that the listing agent uploaded to the MLS. And it has much more information, just like if you would have my own computer in front of you. This is where they're almost sometimes already looking on the app store for it. The best feature about this is that when you're here and you get more information and you like it, see this arrow right here? That is my favorite. Because you can text it to somebody, in your family, your spouse, your significant other, your parents, or a friend, or even more importantly, you can send it to me and say, Sandra, can you get me more information on this house? I can get you the disclosures. I can check availability for showing. And if it is available, you don't have to wait for open houses. They love that. The other thing that I do is then I say to them, if you go on the search again, right on the filters, way on the bottom, you can actually filter for just open houses. So if you click on that and you go show results, save search, show the results. When you do the search, it's only going to show you the houses that have open houses. Let me see. Oh my God, my dog. It's Monday, so there's not that many, but you can see that the houses that have open houses already scheduled, they will have, sorry guys, they will have the word open on top of it. So when you click on it, it has the open house information. Why do I bring this up? Because if they're looking to do a tour of the weekend or, you know, try to plan their weekend for open houses, just do that search on Friday or you know, Friday morning, and then they can actually, you know, plan their route, their route. And then finally, I say to them, another like really cool feature is the draw button. So right here on the finger, if you click on it, I usually use a lake, for example, you can circle around. Oh, sorry about that, guys. If you circle around, it only shows you the properties that are active within that circle. I say that's great if you're looking waterfront property, if you're looking for a specific neighborhood, if it's a radius around your work or school system, they love that. And again, there's some of them that have open houses. When you already see a property, it changes from a dark green or teal color to a lighter one. So you can keep track of the ones that you have already opened. And then at that point I said, is this something, it's a cool gadget to have, there's no commitment. I just, you know, I like to give and show and teach. That's one of my favorite things to do. And I think that this is a super cool little gadget to have and play around with. And they'll usually say yes. At that point, this is very important. This is the consumer. This is the white app. If you go to your people and you share here for, it says share my app, please note, this is important. When they log in, they have to search for your name as an agent, and you will see it when you create your name. So they have to look for you. So they might find another KW agent, or they might just like find somebody else. We don't want that. The way to fix it, you go to your command app. Of course, it's not going to let me log in. There we go. Inside of your red command app, right on the top of your name, it says share my app. When you share my KW app from the red command app, it's already marketed and it's already personalized with your information. So you share how to use the white one, but then in order to give it to them, for them to register, you share it from the command.
All right, so I heard a lot of stuff here. So I want to kind of double click on all these things that we're hearing so fast. One, that's great. So I just want to, when you're at an open house yourself, you ask the consumer if they would like a tool that would help them learn more about inventory in other open houses. Is that correct?
Yeah. I usually do that because obviously I'm there facilitating that open house, right? We are there to sell that home. And at the same time, we, as a collateral, like I call it, we gain buyers, right? So my first is that when I already see that they're not really super interested of that house, then I ask them, are you going to see any other properties? How are you finding information about them? And then I said, would you be interested if I show you my, you know, gadget? I don't even call it like an app. A tool or something.
Okay, so you tell them I have a tool, a gadget, or something that could be of interest to you. And by doing that, you have found success in really working with more unrepresented buyers at open houses?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So awesome. Those are awesome things. And then you're showing them the white app. You're helping them download the white KW app. Yet the biggest piece here that I just heard was that in order for them to get the branded app for you is to send it or share it by your Keller Williams Red app, which is the behind the curtain command app.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. And know that you're not sharing command. You're just sharing the app link for the white one. Don't get scared that they're like, oh my God, they're going to get onto my command, because that's not what happens. You're just sharing the app link for your consumer.
Got it. Now, once they download the app from what you send them, does their information go into your command?
Yep. And that's one of the beauties, because obviously you're in an open house, right? So that's the other thing that I mentioned. When you send your command, let's say, and I always text it, right? When you send it, it has already a pre-template of like, here's the gadget. What I do is that I make sure that I click after hi and I put Jen, and then I send it because I want to follow up. Remember, it doesn't matter how much things, tools, gadgets, paper, letters we do. If we don't follow up, it's a dead end. We have the beauty of real estate, it's all in the follow-up. We're just here, we're sharing the app, but we're really, what we're doing is getting the information for us to really do the work and follow up and getting, be on, you know, on their face. I would say, like, be on top of mind of what we want to do with giving them information.
So, okay, so you said you customize what that says before you actually hit the share button.
The only customization is the name.
Okay.
The template, it's already, Command already has it. If you go right now and you try to do it, it's already a template. The reason I found that is because if I send it to 4 different people while I have 13 people walking around, I'm not going to remember who is who later.
Sure.
So if I put Jen, then I can personalize my follow-up later with the video or whatever I end up doing, because at that point, that's the other thing too. I go to my signing sheet. I usually have a paper, and it depends on the generation. People might do the QR code for the open house / open house, you know, that we do for Command, or we do the paper. And when I go to check that I'm going to text it, I'm like, all right, Jen, is this your phone number? They're like, oh, I'm dyslexic. That's supposed to be a 9, not a 6. And I'm like, don't worry about it. That happens to everybody. I don't even make a fuss about it. But that way, I'm also confirming that the information that they put on paper is correct. When I send it on text and I hear on their phone ding and they say, I got it, in my head is like, and I got you. Because on the phone, with a phone number, I can text, I can call, and I can send a video. So it's 3 different ways for me to follow up that they don't look the same. And that's what I do. I text them the link, and then I follow up my open houses with a video, letting them know, you know, if it go under contract, even after when it goes, you know, under agreement. I mean, if it goes closing or if it had a price change, I have there. The other thing too is that when they log in, you get notifications. With the app, you only get the email. But because I texted, I already have the email and the text. The difference that when you do the QR code sign in, you get both at the same time in Command, and then you get that notification. So I kind of go double, and I can confirm that.
Love it. Okay, what questions do we have? I love it. Thank you for sharing all of this. Really good points. Even if you got one nugget from this, it's amazing. I got a couple, so thank you. I would love to get some questions. What questions do you have for Sandra? What QR code is she referring to, and how do we get it?
So there is another way. The QR code that I'm talking, well, obviously you can do QR codes for anything, even for the app, right? So sometimes you just show it and you don't get to, you know, I have actually QR codes in my business cards for my app. But what I was referring in this particular one is when you do a landing page signing sheet, like electronic signing sheet for an open house, which is on your website, on your own KW website, you find your property that you're doing the open house, click on the bar, /forward word open house all together. It's going to give you a landing page where people can sign in electronically. If you copy that URL on the top, you can create a QR code, create a flyer, and have it on the open house. People can scan and check in electronically. When they do that, you get a notification, an email, and a bubble on your app letting you know that you can, you know, that a new lead came. The greatest thing about both of them is that when you get the information on your Command on the lead source, it tells you where it's coming from. So if it is coming from your site or if it's coming from your app. And on the timeline on the right side, it will tell you the address. So if you are having, you know, let's say that a property that you did a couple open houses went back on the market, you can search the address and then contact all those people again and say, hey, by the way, the property had a price reduction or went under agreement. Would you be interested in, you know, you were talking, Karina, you were talking about the golden letters. This is a great opportunity to do another kind of golden letters, because then once it goes under agreement, you send the letters to all those people and let them know, you know, I can look for the homes in this neighborhood for you, and you can try to get them. It's a gold mine, an opportunity. for them to just play around. And I do use the word, it's not a commitment at this point, just play around with it, because every time they click on a property, it is on your timeline and you can see where they are looking. So you have a little bit of a cheat sheet if they're looking, you know, in a certain town, then you can put them in a smart plan of a neighborhood watch for that town, not necessarily just the open house town. It's like a, the wheel that keeps on getting bigger because there's so much opportunity with Command.
I love it. Thank you. Okay, any other questions before we flip quickly to our content for social media this week? Questions, comments? I got to thank you. This is awesome. So thank you, Sandra.
I'm glad. And if anybody has questions, please feel free to reach out. Again, it's Sandra Soler, S-O-L-E-R, Keller Williams Gateway in Salem, New Hampshire.
All right. We are headed off to the content. You ready, Sandra?
Let's go for it.
All right. Here we go. Let's find the right one to share. You guys see my screen okay?
Yes, we do.
Excellent. So here is Tuesday, September 24th. Your content for Tuesday says Transformational Tuesday. You know why I love this one? And I don't have time to read through all of these, yet you guys could see them. By the way, if you're wondering, how do I get this content? It is being emailed to you as we speak right now. And it's also in our Facebook group. So we have an M3 Facebook group just for you guys that we share all of our content and these recordings to every single week. So you will have it in your inbox either right now or very shortly. And then you could also check on our Facebook page. All right, here's Transformational Tuesday. Why do I love this one so much? How many times have you seen on Facebook looking for a contractor, looking for this, looking for this? Is a great way to, one, build your vendor list, two, recommend your vendor list, and three, find out more vendors to add to your list. Like, this is such a great opportunity for you. So it first says, got a home project you're proud of, let's see it. And then the next one says, thinking about transforming a space in your home or yard, I've got the perfect connection for you. It's a great, great post. Don't skip over this one. I would use it not even just this week, maybe in another month as well, and continue to do it. Maybe change it to something else. But always build that vendor relationship. All right, Wednesday the 25th. What's everybody reading or listening to these days? Right, this is a really good one where you're going to get some really good comments of like really great books, audibles, podcasts, and then you get to share it or share what you're listening to and why you listen to it. It's a great way to integrate your world into somebody else's to really solidify relationships. Sandra, what do you think about this one? What do you think? What would you put in? What are you listening to right now? Reading.
Oh, I drive so much. I love Robbins.
Mel Robbins.
Mel Robbins pod. It's like a
go-to
eye opener, heartbreaking opener. Like my eyes. It's everything she says, it always hits hard.
I'm with you on that one. She's my BFF. She doesn't know it, but we're best friends. So it's pretty cool. Thursday, the content looks like this. On football Sundays, we know the appetizers are just as important as the game. And now, obviously, we know Thursday night is football too. So which ones take the win for you? We're not going to talk about last Thursday night's football game because that was just not worth talking about. Okay.
But we could talk about the food.
Yes, so food is better in that sense, right? So buffalo wings or nachos. And again, just get the conversation hopping because it doesn't always have to be content about real estate, but you could wrap in really cool things. Because if somebody says nachos, you could say, give me your best nacho recipe. I've been wanting to make them. Or same thing with wings. And then you could DM them your family recipe of something, whatever. There's so much you could do with this. Good stuff, right, Sandra?
Yeah, let me just add, just like I said before, that the gold mine about everything that we put out there is the follow-up. Even these posts that are already given to us, they're just like copy and paste. The real juice on it is the follow-up. If you're going to ask what do you like, nachos or wings, and you don't answer, or you don't go to their own site to click on whatever, and then go from there and say something about their post, because these things that we're trying to do is we're trying to trick the algorithm so that we are on their face you know, on their Facebook more often than not. That way, when we do nachos and wings versus new open house coming up, it will show on their Facebook, on their, you know, Facebook.
Very
So
good.
remember,
Point.
engaging, and then if we engage on their site, their friends will, you know, comment, and then we will be on their algorithm as well. So follow up. I can't stress that enough with anything that we do. Just make sure that you send those 8 letters every week, or you call them 8 weeks in a row, or text or email or comment on their Facebook page 8 times as much as possible.
Yeah, so good. So here's the thing, right? I don't know if Bold is coming to your area or not. Have you heard that Gary Keller, like, and I hate to use this, but like he threw away the old Bold and rewrote the entire new Bold. And you know what I heard? It's starting off the whole like first hour of Bold is about social media and how you could build your business through social media, because there's such an opportunity to do that. And Bold has figured that out and said, okay, we need to work our business for the now, not the then. And that's, you know, Bold was great for the then. It's a new now. So they're recreating it still to this day. They have 36 new Bold laws. It's listen, I don't sell Bold, but I know what it does to lives and it changes them. So if Bold is coming to your area, it doesn't have to be your market center, to your area, I encourage you all to ask your market center what the deal is, because some market centers have scholarships, rebates, everything. So it's a great way to reinvest in yourself and put these systems into place now. So that way 2025, you're feeling good. Like you're going to thrive through 25. Look at that. I didn't even know that. Fine.
They have new Bold laws.
36. I can't share them. They're on my phone. 36 new Bold laws. Five of them are the same, but the rest of them are all new. All new. All right, guys, it is 2 minutes past. I'm going to get in trouble by Brooke. I will see you next Monday. Thank you, Sandra, for being our guest. You taught some really great stuff. Karina, thank you for adding your golden letter stuff. And
You're
I will
welcome.
see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.